Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Callie. I'm a wife and a mom of two that's working towards simplifying our life and our home so that we can live more intentionally. I'm really excited about this video because last month I took 496 steps towards making that happen, to getting closer to simplifying our lives. And that's right, 496 steps. So last month I took part in a little game called the Minimalist Game. And during this challenge, I was able to declutter 496 items from our home. So if you're curious and want to know more about the who, what, when, why, and how, just keep watching. So when I first started looking into minimalism and different ways that we could simplify our lives, because I just felt like I was getting bogged down by all the clutter that was in our home, and I just was spending more time taking care of the things we had in our house than I was about making those memories with my family. Especially during this time when we're at home a lot, it just was feeling like the weight was like really coming down on me. But it actually started at the beginning of this year, 2020, when I started reading about minimalism and different ways to declutter and simplify your lives and living a more intentional life. I started seeing this minimalist challenge pop up. And as far as I understand it, it was created by two guys that have a YouTube channel. They call themselves the Minimalist. And the basic premise is that you get rid of the number of items that corresponds with the date. So in that month, day 1, you get rid of 1 item. Day 2, 2 items. Day 3, 3 items, so on and so forth. Till the end of it, you end up around 500 items, depending on how long the month is. So I decided that July was going to be my month. I was going to stop putting it off, and so July had 31 days, which meant that I had a total of 496 items that I was going to be getting rid of in that month. I was really looking at the challenge as a great way to focus on decluttering. I had done the KonMari method before in our home, and sometimes it's a little big of an undertaking, especially when you have 2 little ones running around, that when you get out all of your stuff, they just want to throw it everywhere. So this is a way for me to really focus on those little knickknacks that I had hiding in little corners that I knew needed to be gotten rid of, but I just had been procrastinating about it. So when I first started it, it was really important for me to create a structure and something that, I had 3 different criteria. I was going to have either sell, donate, or discard. And when you start addressing decluttering, I feel that it's very important to make sure you're doing it as responsibly as possible, to really be intentional with where your items are going and making sure that they're not just going through the trash. So the only things that were discarded for me were things that were broken or torn, that couldn't be saved, that couldn't be fixed or mended. And then also things that were expired, like any kind of food or supplements or cleaning products. And at that point, those expired items I would put down the drain, and then I would be able to recycle the packaging or the bottling. So that was really important for me to start. So I decided that I wanted to go ahead and document it for you because it was a way of holding myself accountable and also a way to kind of guide others through the process as well. I thought it was a really great experience. I'm going to go ahead and show you through the clips of all the things that I decided to declutter from our home in the month of July. And then afterwards, I'll kind of guide you through my full thought process and how I really thought about the challenge overall. And as always, if you find yourself enjoying this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up so that it helps out my channel. And also, if you'd like to see more videos like this and follow along on my process of leading a more intentional life by simplifying the things in our home, then go ahead and subscribe, because I'll be making more videos like this in the future. All right, so starting with day 1, we are going to go ahead and donate this citrus juicer. This one is attached to my KitchenAid mixer, and I just really never use it. Maybe every once in a while I'll juice some oranges on there, but to be honest, I use my handheld for limes and lemons anyway. Day 2, we have this butter dish and gravy boat that we only use once a year for, yes, you guessed it, Thanksgiving. And to be honest, it doesn't even match the china that we use at Thanksgiving dinner, so there's really no point in me holding on to this. So I'd love to donate them so someone else could enjoy them instead. On day 3, I went through my cabinet and discovered that I had 5 pie pans, and there will never be a time that I need to make 5 pies at once. So I decided to keep 2 of them, and then we're going to go ahead and donate the 3 of these. And we continued on in the kitchen on day 4. I found these 3 cookie cutters. I don't even know what that one is. I think it's a Cupid, a cherub. But I never use these. And then also this little salt container. It's really cute, nice marble, but I never use it. Day 5, we're still working in the kitchen, and I had 2 cookbooks that were all about cupcakes, and I hardly ever make cupcakes. So those go. I had 4 wooden spoons, 1 was chipped, so that one's out. This is a fry cup of some kind that I have. I don't even know where it came from. And then also I have this cool cookbook holder that has the measurement equivalents, but I never use this. If I'm using a cookbook, it's laying out on my counter. So all of these are going to be donated as well. Day 6, I went through our record player cabinet and found this old key that just sits out on the counter, a white elephant set of candles that can be gifted to someone else. I also have this lamp, Fabergé, I think is what it's called. It burns oil. And then an old candle holder, and then this beautiful candle that a friend made for me. It smells amazing, but all of these, like, I don't use these anymore. I don't use candles, only essential oils. So those are out. And then this random curtain holder from IKEA. Day 7, I went through my nail polish collection, and honestly, I don't even really paint my nails that much anymore. So these were old or drying out or duplicates, or I would never wear those, so those are all going as well. Day 8, I went through my nightstand drawer, and these are all books that I've either already read or I'm not going to read. And then also there's this notebook that I've had for years that I've only written in a couple of times, so it's time for that to move on as well. I have some like Alka-Seltzer kind of gas relief that are expired that I used when I had acid reflux with my babies when I was pregnant. This is some room spray that I've had for years as well, but I don't use it anymore. I make my own. And then my pregnancy test for my daughter that is so old that it doesn't even say pregnant anymore. Day 9, I decided to tackle some kids' toys, and these are either like teething necklaces that Sophie never really uses, or just some rattles that we have tons of rattles, or little books that she's already moved on from, or that they just aren't really into. Day 10, some more little toys that are just kind of one-offs or broken, or just make way too much noise, or kind of clunky and dangerous like this one. We have these little socks that Sophie would rattle and she could wear on her toes like when she was little bitty. She's moved on from those. And then there's this really cute bowling set, but it just ends up being thrown all over the room anyway. And then these baskets that holds all their toys. My son is a very aggressive toddler sometimes, so those are broken, they need to be trashed, and everything else can be donated. Day 11, I went into the linen closet, and these are either stained or worn out towels, and then this coverlet just really isn't our style, so that can go to another home. Day 12, I found a stack of these magazines that I was saving in a cabinet that I was going to read at a later date. I don't know. Some of these are years old, and there's no way I'm ever going to be looking through these magazines again, so it was time to go ahead and recycle these. Day 13, I headed back into the kitchen and found this extra glass bowl. I had 2 of them. I don't need 2 of them. I have a couple of these old mugs that I had for a Christmas project that I never used. And then also this cleaner, I've had it for 2 years. I've never used it. I'm never going to. So that can get thrown down the drain and then recycled. A fruit and veggie spray that I don't use. Red raspberry leaf tea that is expired now. I used it while I was pregnant. I don't need it anymore. And that was on top of some like wine storage that we don't use those anymore. And then also these milk supplements. I'm no longer breastfeeding, so I have no use for those. Another day, more magazines. Seriously, on day 14, I found more magazines. Why am I holding on to these? Probably for like one recipe, which I could probably just find on my phone. Day 15, I decided to go back in the kitchen, and I'm trying to stay away from plastic food storage. So I got rid of all these Tupperware pieces and then these popover tins, which have never been used, and cocktail sauce. Day 16, I found a box of 16 leopard drinking glasses out in my garage, which have never been used. Day 17, I decided to simplify our refrigerator, get rid of magnets, and then a couple of brochures and things from our junk drawer. Day 18, and it was time for some more books. So I went through the cabinet in our living room and then also some cookbooks. But all of these can be donated because they're all still in really great condition. It was day 19, and it was time to tackle some home decor. So I have a lamp here that I was never really in love with to begin with, so that goes. And then evidently I have an issue with hoarding flower vases, so I went through a bunch of those, got rid of them, and then just some odds and ends from around the house. And then I'll be selling these Wedgwood china pieces as well. Day 20, and I can confirm that there are 20 clothing items in here. These are all my clothes that are in really great condition, hardly been worn or never worn with tags on them. So all of these here in this bag, I am going to be listing on my Poshmark account. It's day 21, and it's the kids' turn for clothes. These are all items that they're not going to use or that they've already outgrown, so they'll be donated, plus some couple of odds and ends and my old nasty flip-flops that will be thrown out. Day 22, I decided to go through our spice cabinet, and these are all spices that are used up or expired, or I don't even know what's in that flour container, and then some labels that I'm probably never going to use. Day 23, we moved on to our tea and supplement pantry, and these are all supplements that sadly I didn't use up and have expired, or some tea that's like pregnancy tea that I'm no longer in need of. Then on day 24, I had some odds and ends from the office. Old phones, a Fitbit I never use, glass bottles that I'm hanging on to, an old bookend, all kinds of stuff. Day 25, and we're back to kids' clothes. We're not having any more babies, so there's no need for me to hang on to this stuff for newborns. Day 26 was the last day for kid items, and this includes some of their toys as well, and old bath toys that just get moldy, and those need to be thrown out. Day 27 began my tackling of my jewelry drawer, which I only have a few pieces that I wear for jewelry now. I'm pretty minimal in my jewelry wearing, so all of these can be donated to somebody else that will enjoy them as much as I have. Continuing on with jewelry, on day 28, I have some old boxes and then all of these bangle bracelets. Why did I ever need this many bangle bracelets? On day 29, we have a cabinet and some drawers in our hallway that can kind of be a catch-all and end up being junk drawers as well. So these are just some odds and ends, old matchbooks, dried up crazy glue, sunglasses that are broken, and then some old like gift certificates that have expired. Day 30, I tackled mostly used products in the bathroom and then samples that I'm never going to use because those are expired as well. So all of those are going. And for day 31, it's supplements that have expired or breast pumps that I'm no longer going to need because I'm no longer breastfeeding. And that was it. I did it. 31 days, 496 items later, and I feel so good about it. And to be honest, I really feel like I haven't even scratched the surface of the items in my home. Some of the items that you saw, I was just completely embarrassed about the fact that I was holding on to like 26 magazines. But those are the things that throughout this process I felt was really important to just kind of get over yourself in that point. There's there's a point in decluttering where you just feel overwhelmed with guilt sometimes about the money you've spent on something, or the fact that you got something and you really wanted to use it. You were, trying to be intentional about juicing, but you never got around to it. Just try to give yourself some grace in this period, and to realize that the guilt just needs to kind of go out the window, that you are costing yourself more by holding on to that item, by storing it every single month, and by also letting that clutter fill your mind and your home, that kind of like gets in the way of like what you really need to be focusing on and valuing in your life. But overall, I thought it was a great experience. I loved it so much that I'm continuing it on this month for the month of August, because I still have a ton more to declutter. And I feel like I could probably get 3 or 4 months worth of stuff, which is really kind of crazy when you look at all the like little tiny things in your house that need to go. But once I started this process, I really saw the things that I didn't need, that were bogging me down, that were keeping me from, living a fuller life by simplifying. So I'm continuing it on through the month of August. I'm going to be showcasing it on my Instagram. So if you want to follow along with me, or if you want to just watch what I get rid of in the month of August, you can visit me over there on my Instagram. And it also gives us an opportunity to connect in more of a personal way. But yeah, I love the Minimalist Challenge. Anybody can do this. I promise you, you have about 500 items in your home that needs to go. You don't have to live out of a suitcase to be a minimalist. I am only starting the journey just now. I've got a long way to go, but it feels freeing every single time I'm able to get rid of something in my home and donate it to somebody, especially in this time that probably needs it way more than I need to be holding on to it. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I loved this challenge. It was so great. I feel so good about like starting this journey, continuing it through, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Please feel free to follow me along on Instagram if you want to join the challenge with me, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.